Hi everyone, this is Carol Ann Speaks, the State of the World on Monday, May 25th, 2020. And today is the official day for Memorial Day for this year. And it's usually put it on a Monday to help have a long weekend for people. So what is the state of the world? I don't know. We still have the coronavirus. People are still getting sick. People are still dying from the virus. Almost at 100,000. People who have lost their lives to the virus. Total cases, 1.5 million plus. That's quite a bit. And we're working on that. Now, I know we've heard before about the shortage of personal protective equipment and respirators, ventilators. Now, I recently found out today that when President Obama was president, he and his administration arranged to have ventilators manufactured, so we'd always have a supply of them. And his administration gave a contract to a company, not a big company, to make a basic ventilator that would do the job. And then another company bought them out after President Obama was no longer president, and that company that bought out the original company was going to make ventilators as their acquisition company said they would. And then that company, the acquiring company, said that there's not enough profit in it for them, so they scrapped the plan to make ventilators as the other company had planned to, at a fair price. And instead, they went ahead and decided that they would manufacture their own higher-priced, fancier ventilator. And that is what we have been using, but there's a shortage of them. It's also more expensive. So how do you like that? President Obama did what he could, his administration did what they could to make sure we had enough ventilators. And then, what do you know, President Obama's out of office, and the profit motive kicks in. So this company decides to substitute their more expensive ventilator for the more reasonably and good quality ventilator that someone else was going to manufacture. So that's the way it is. Unfortunately, that's the way things seem to work. It's all about money. So that's why we have a shortage of ventilators. There was a plan, but it was scrapped for a profit motive. Not a very nice thing to do. Now, the Republican Party is planning on having their national convention someplace, and they had made a tentative plan to have it at a city, certain state, but they said they were going to cancel that plan if that state and city limited the amount of people who could be president at one time. In order to cut down on infections and deaths from this virus, the best way to do that is to have no more than 10 people in one place at a time. Better to have like a virtual event, which Trump doesn't want. So he has threatened to pull out of his agreement with a certain city if he can't get to have a big crowd. He doesn't care who gets sick and who dies, as long as he has some kind of a big rally. Very unfortunate. All right, now, so that's, today is Memorial Day, the official day, to honor those who have lost their lives in the service of our country to protect us. And our veterans from older wars, we're losing them. We're losing veterans from World War II. We're losing some of the veterans from the Vietnam War. So we have to take care of them on Memorial Day, honor the sacrifice of those who we've lost and those who we're still losing. So that's the purpose of Memorial Day. It started out as something called Decoration Day after the Civil War of the 1860s, and people from both sides went to decorate the graves of those soldiers who had lost their lives. That's still being done, except now it's called Memorial Day. Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, troops, they go out and decorate the graves of those who've lost their lives. So we must remember these people who were involved in the military, fought, trained, and the ones who've lost their lives. They gave their lives so that we could have a better life. So we should be taking care of, honoring their memory and their work, their legacy, by taking care of the veterans who are still with us, so that they don't end up in a veteran's home getting this virus and dying from this virus. So let's really honor all those, the first responders, the essential workers, and keep them safe, because they're doing things for us. Don't demand that people go into an unsafe condition so that you could have some product you like. You want that product? Why don't you go out there and do the work? Why don't you become a farm worker, or a healthcare worker, or a police officer, a firefighter? All kinds of opportunities there. So, now, that being said, let's please remember the real purpose of Memorial Day. It's to honor those who gave their lives so that we can have a better life. And the best way to honor them is take care of each other and don't get into unnecessary wars. That's the big thing. The people who decide to go to war don't go to fight them. They pick other people to fight them. Okay. Now, let's end early today and have a little song. This is a song I wrote a while ago. It's called Life. All right, here we go. Life is worth living if you give it a chance. So don't give up and don't give in to despair. There are so many creatures who God hath created who would love to have a chance at life. So that can be your purpose, to help them to live a good life. Life is very precious, so don't trifle with it. For once it is gone, you cannot get it back. Perhaps you need a new outlook on life, or new friends. Life is worth living if you give it a chance. So don't give up and don't give into despair. Okay, that's it for today. Life is worth living, definitely is. You have to treat it right. So, let's say goodnight on Monday, May 25th, 2020. Carolyn Speaks, The State of Our World. And remember, kindness goes a long way. So be kind. Thank you. Good night.